Scott's not going to be here, right?
No.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 11 workshop. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Lacey, what you got for us?
First up, I've got Brian Stanley. Are you Brian?
No.
Nope.
I didn't
Okay.
hear about that though.
Are you the contractor?
Yep.
Okay. He didn't show up, so that's
Well, I ended up seeing him and had a little chat with him. He's like, "Oh, I swear to God, I didn't say nothing," because he's been out there every day with me, involved in it. So I don't know why he's trying to start.
Yeah.
Austin.
I went ahead and Austin reached out to me questioning me, just to kind of clue everybody in on what's going on. Brian Stanley called earlier wanting to know about building permits. I kind of filled him in on it. He said his neighbor was building a fence and he didn't think he had a building permit. Long story short, he's replacing an existing fence in the exact same location, so he doesn't need a building permit. I explained to him really it was just for our guys to go in, make sure that it wasn't going to interfere with any of our utilities, so on and so forth. He informed me that the neighbor was stealing his yard, going over several feet into his yard, and he demanded that I come out and look at the pins. I let him know that we have nothing to do with surveying, we have nothing to do with any of that. It went on for a while. He got pretty heated and was yelling at me. Basically, he was going to have my job. So I invited him politely to come to council this evening. And he was going to be here because, I should go out and survey his land. I told him, we don't do anything with surveying, who he could call, different things. He was pretty heated. So I reached out to Mr. Allen and got the information. I have all the pictures where it shows where the old fence was, where the new fence is going. So I was prepared for this evening. And he then was texting Mr. Allen and speaking to you and saying that I had made up the whole story.
Yep.
But I went ahead and showed where he had actually called the village and spoke to me.
Yeah, I also showed me that too.
Yeah.
Because I talked to him, Brian, right after work, and he swore up and down he had nothing to do with it, nothing ever happened. He has no problem with me doing what I'm doing, everything. Like I said, he's been out there with me.
Yeah.
talking to me. He gave me tools because I broke one or something. They wanted me to do work to his own house, but then he started the drama with this.
Yeah, I've got a lot of things to do, especially on a Monday. I don't really get into people's lives. I don't have enough time for that. So,
Not on Monday.
Not anything.
Now, is that
not any day.
just a question? Is that existing fence on a 2-foot offset like it's supposed to be? I mean, just to make sure that you're doing.
As far as I know. I
It's
mean,
the original
it's
fence.
the original
So-
fence.
Right.
So.
Right.
That old fence has been there over 30 years.
Right.
And he's putting it right back in the same place.
2 feet off
I don't know.
the fence.
It's
Neil?
not about hitting us, it's just we have an
The
ordinance.
pretty side has to face Brian, and we have to have access to get to water and sewer.
So,
It's
I mean,
got
and
set
I think
2
he came
foot
in to
off.
ask about if he needed
Yeah.
to.
He- yeah,
2
he
foot
had-
off the other property.
Mr. Allen came in and was asked, or called, or came in and asked about the fence and everything. So he made sure he didn't need a permit. So everything was good. So I don't have a lot of time to make up nonsense. So I'm not sure what his, because he was carrying on pretty good.
I was gonna say, is he old there? Maybe, is he an old man? I mean, is he
No,
old?
he's young.
He's probably about my age-ish.
Oh.
He just thinks he knows it all, and
Yeah, he was pretty
I
heated at
think he's
me.
aggravated a lot of people around
Has
here.
he lived there?
And that's, I think he said he'd been there a year.
Right next to
Well, he has no right to complain.
So,
no,
He does if he owns it.
right there by, oh, shoot.
It's on South State, right?
Yeah, right next to Bob, and then
Paul McLean, and
who's right next to Bob?
well, that would be Tammy and
Mount.
Mount.
Right
next door to him.
He's
Yeah.
aggravated.
He's had problems with them too, he says. Well,
Well, they have a problem with him.
he said the complaint was about me taking equipment up over the hill. The neighbor was complaining about that, digging out the big stumps. And he was telling me it was the neighbors doing all of it, but it wasn't him. So I didn't know if you guys had a complaint about me having a big equipment going through the woods and taking out stumps or what. But
Nope.
I wanna make sure that was cleared up too, so,
Nope.
alright, that's good then.
Nope. So, yep.
Saved us 20 minutes worth of time tonight.
There
Yep.
you go, I like
There
that.
you go, see?
So,
You kill about 20 minutes of your time that you could be on that job working.
I know, I'm losing money now.
Losing money.
I've never been to one of these before, so I'm like, yeah, I wanna go anyway, so,
there you go.
we'll see how it goes.
Well, you're more than welcome to stay, or you're more than welcome to go. Some people stay, some people go. So, okay. So, I don't usually get to bring great news. So, this is next on the agenda. You think because Scott's not here that it's your turn?
Yeah, I got a, is Scott all right with it?
So, with the big water project that we've talked about and thrown some pretty scary numbers out, we did apply through Congressman Balderson for some funding.
Good.
So we have reached the top 20 in that, which, you know, like he says in the email, it doesn't mean the funding is secured, still have a long way to go, but it's a good start. So I feel like, you know, them putting us in for almost $3 million and to reach the top 20,
We might have a shot.
that's, you know, even if we get a portion of it, I feel like that was a pretty exciting email to get today. So like he said, at the end of September, we can expect a vote, but could be closer to the end of the year. But for once, I get to bring good news, so I feel like that's pretty promising.
Good.
So there's that.
Good job, nice. Yeah.
Thanks. Update on the baby pool. Who's been down to see the baby pool? It looks amazing. Yes. It looks amazing. If you haven't seen it since they've painted it.
Yeah, I'll see this.
I want water in it.
Yeah. So I reached out to Tim Patterson today. He said the filter equipment installation is the 12th.
Tomorrow then?
Tomorrow. The electric in the filter room is the 14th. The fence is going to be this week. They told Tim it was going to be tomorrow, so give or take. The plan is to fill the pool on the 18th. The Ohio Department of Health inspection is the 20th, and then the operating training is the 20th.
Good.
So,
Yeah.
Good.
there were some issues throughout the week with concrete and concrete kind of chipping away. So if some of you noticed they were down there, they jackhammered some of it back up and relayed new concrete in the places that we had areas of concern. It looks much better. We were down there today. So things are moving along. I think every time we go down there, it gets a little more real and a little more exciting. It's been a long time coming. So I think Tom would be really happy to see how far we've come with this. But if you haven't checked it out in person, go down, swing by before they put the fence up, because man, I'd love it if we could leave that fence down. It's beautiful and it's open, and obviously we can't, but it looks pretty amazing down there. Update on B1, B6. Not a lot to report still from last week. Concrete pads are laid. They're just working on fine tuning everything.
They're running now.
They're running.
They're just
Yeah.
working out all the.
It's
Yeah.
been running.
Yeah, it's been running for a month, give or take.
All of them are running?
B1 and B6. Yep. Yep.
Made a pretty good work on the fence around it there I seen last week.
Yeah, they did. So,
Good.
it's really just fine tuning all the underground stuff. So, some different things with the electric
How's George feel
panels.
they're doing with the punch out?
They're making progress. So, I can get a list and have a list for you next week.
I was wondering how George is feel like. Is George happy?
He-
progress. Or
Do they
People
still feel that they'll
frustrated.
be done by the end of August, out of here and finished?
I can find that out for sure.
Okay. Because that
I
was
would-
the original completion, totally done date after they got an extension because of,
I would hope,
okay.
but I hate to say for sure because you just never know. But I would hope. And Scott's not here for the Buckeye Street Bridge update.
What's his number?
I really thought that he would be here for that. We had our weekly meeting last week. We were able to get John in on it this time. So, John, do you want to take Scott's spot?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
They should have. They were gonna dig the post last week, Wednesday. They were gonna start on that. They said once they got that done, it would be a kind of a standstill until they were ready to set 2 pieces of concrete in. They're kind of U-shaped, and they was set in on the pillars. They had let the pillars set.
Good.
And they were going to tie in the drain on the north side, tie it in. The drain on the south side's already covered up,
Okay.
and it is collapsing.
Yeah.
So they were going to remove that completely.
Which they did. I got pictures of
I
it.
haven't been down there.
Yeah,
but,
I took
yeah,
pictures.
that's
of
what they told us. They expected it to be done at the end of April. Less than around 60 days total.
I mean, end of August.
August.
Oh,
Yeah, April's already over.
oh yeah, August.
You
So
threw me
I-
off for a
End of
minute.
June.
I was gonna say, I have wrote down
By
that
the
he
end of
said
June.
the end of June is what
Okay.
they're
End of June.
hoping for.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
They expect it to be done in right around 60 days.
Good.
They'd be
great.
done. They'd be done
If
ahead.
they can
of
get
time.
it, get it done before school starts, that's a good.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
What else? I think you covered.
Not really.
Are they needing us to do anything about the collapsed drain? Do we need to replace part of it or anything?
No.
What
That's
are
the
they-
way the
I-
road is sloped.
Yeah.
It's just going to
We
drain.
won't have to replace it, because I questioned that.
Yeah.
And I went and looked, yeah, there's at least, I'm gonna say from the center of the road, at least 6 inches drop to the corner, and it goes right into the street, or right into the property, the grass, so it'll end up going right to the creek.
And the drain on that side has already been paved over.
Yeah.
Oh,
More
okay.
than once.
More than
Yeah.
once.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
what
But
he
they're-
said basically was they were gonna take all that and all that cross piping that goes to the other side out,
Okay.
and then put a new drain in there with only one inlet.
Okay.
And it's gonna discharge into the creek at an angle.
Shoots it downstream.
No
Shoots it
risk of
downstream.
of property erosion from the neighbors or anything like that. Okay. All right.
I think Scott would be very proud of you, John.
Yeah.
You did a fine job.
And I left my notes at work, so.
I think you did very well. Thank you.
They also said they would go 18 to 24 inches into the sandstone with the pillars, so the pillars would be anchored really
Into the bedrock.
into the bedrock.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Anybody have any questions
Yeah,
about
stir
any
the
of
pot
that?
there. Tell him you
Just
got
ask
you got
me
the
when
250.
does he get his raise now?
We'll tell Scott he can
He's
sleep
playing
in.
Scott, he's gotta ask for a raise.
Yeah.
John will take over. You hear me, John?
I did
We'll
not.
tell Scott he can sleep in, you take over.
I can't guarantee I'll be there every Wednesday.
All right. Brian, you're up. Got your papers? I'm going to pass them out.
We got him.
We got him.
Oh wow.
I've had your papers made for weeks sitting here.
You just wasted so much paper.
So much paper.
On that other.
3 cents a copy.
Oh, I was waiting for more than 3.
It's coming out of your paycheck.
So if they wanna look over
Do you have
that,
one?
No, I don't.
and see what the village wants to come up with
Thanks.
on their,
Nope.
Lacey's got one.
I didn't get one either.
It's fine.
The village can designate areas, if they'd like. They can change different roles. What do you want to come up with? But there is guidelines in there if you read, C4. The D1, start at D1.
Okay.
That'll all stay the same.
That'll shake them up for me.
Yeah.
And this is scooters too, or is it just bicycles?
Anything.
Anything? Okay.
Anything that's
Electric?
Electric, yeah.
Yep.
So if it does pertain to electric, would it engulf electric golf carts?
Bicycles,
E-bikes and e-scooters.
yeah, I don't think
Just
golf carts.
bicycles and scooters?
each electric bicycle, label show, and it goes on and on. So, if you're not
Mostly
familiar
it's
with them,
about
there's different
bicycles.
classes. And it explains it here, class 1, class 2,
Mhm.
class 3.
Yeah.
What's that? Is that the speed wise or what's?
Ratings,
Road rating.
Whether it's pedal assist or whether
Oh,
they're not,
okay.
and then the speed on them. There's some that'll, strangely enough, they'll go almost 30 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah, that one Bentley will go
So-
about 50.
Yeah, and there's requirements if the ones that are over up to 30 miles an hour, you've got to be
16 years.
16. You got to wear a helmet. Yeah,
be accompanied by an adult.
accompanied by an adult.
And it also says has to have a speed on.
Yeah.
Have a what?
Speed on.
I can tell you, just from listening to the news, this issue's in a lot of communities.
Oh yeah.
This is eventually going to become state law. I mean, there'll be more.
They're working
going
on-
to become more stringent upon it.
Well, the
as
thing
it
of it is,
comes.
each individual, say like our village, could come up with stipulations
You can make them harder.
if you want.
Yep.
Right. But what I'm saying is, eventually the state's going to be one.
They are. They're working on legislation right now in the
Yeah.
State House.
Yes, they are.
This
Because
is
they're having
the
trouble
state,
with
so
Huh?
This is the state. But yeah, since it's more and more popular now, I'm sure
Yeah.
it'll just grow from here.
Sure.
What are your thoughts, Brian?
Well, I don't think we should make a designated area. So then that's why
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Where
everything
would
can
that
explore up
be?
at that point.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that the village can come up with.
Those two kids on them are zooming around the park. Saturday, I think.
Be honest,
They're on them
kid, I
scooters,
thought
they're
one
not
of these in there.
stop signs, they're not, one's gonna get run
Well,
over.
you've got the age, but still, well, if they're not allowed on the street, because I was going down my street the other day, and Rick Adams was coming up, he was talking to Tony and them, I had to dead stop and honk my horn, or he'd ran right into me, because he's looking over there, and I thought, oh my God, Rick. But he don't stop for the stop signs. or
Funny to see
nothing either.
Rick. He's way over 16 now.
I know, that's what I mean, he's older, but I mean, well, some old
Yeah,
people
they
can't
can ride
drive.
them,
Huh?
they can ride them.
Even though they can't drive. I should say anything about drivers. Brandy and those totaled 2 cars in 2 weeks.
Pretty much the smaller kids are on that little
Brandy
scooter,
totaled hers, she flipped hers twice.
Sure.
things that look like a motorcycle type of,
Yeah.
Last
Yep.
Monday.
I've noticed up on Maple Avenue of all places, there's a half a dozen or so buzzing by the office daily, you know, and they're on the sidewalk and they're cooking along. But they're going to be a little more popular if we keep $4.50 gasoline too.
$5 gas. Why wouldn't you?
That in the long enough range, I might consider.
You know, why
one.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sure. Especially putting around here.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't clarified in here what they're considering an electric scooter is. I know what a bicycle is, but an electric scooter, and the same thing as an electric golf cart. They're not listed.
Golf carts don't go no 40 miles an hour.
No, they don't.
If you look up the classes, it's what the top speed is, and then the wattage.
Right.
But this is all deals with just bicycles here. It doesn't deal with scooters.
So that's the same thing.
Well, it's not the same thing, but it
We
should
catch
be
them on a
written
scooter,
in
we're
here.
going cheap, just like a bicycle.
They're lumping them all together, Fred.
I'm assuming something like a Segway would fall under the same thing as well.
Yeah. It's electric. It's motorized. But there again, there's nowhere in here that says anything about segways.
What do y'all intend to do? Trying to keep them from riding them all together, or stay off the sidewalks, down the road? What's the
Well,
board?
Right.
Assistive
Huh?
mobility device.
They're in the
Being,
right
being
zone.
out on the
Sounds a
road.
lot
You know,
different
right.
than
Right.
a mobility
Having a
device
helmet at
is-
least.
Yeah.
These kids that's under
things
60.
that would-
Well, and the fact that they'll just come down on an intersection and they'll just keep going. They won't stop. They won't look, and then you're there and
Well,
you're
they do that
running
on
them, and then
bicycle.
you're running them over.
They'll do that on a skateboard.
Yeah.
They'll do that on places. They'll do it on their kids. Johnny Loomis probably ran a couple intersections.
I never.
Yeah, none of you want to admit it. Bicycle, probably.
But it's becoming a big issue everywhere.
Riding bicycles, yeah.
Right. I know, but I don't know what, are we wanting to target?
I think he's just wanting to get something in there in case there's an issue, he has something to fall back on. If they're
Well,
being,
no, I just use this. I see them, I just tell them take it home.
Right.
if they're being stupid,
That's
that's
state
one
law,
thing,
right?
if they're
Well,
not.
given the age. Right.
But I mean, like, what I was thinking, you guys were talking about scooters. Right, scooter, normally on a sidewalk, you go much faster on a sidewalk, you're gonna be on your head, especially in Crooksville, because pretty rough sidewalks.
Go when they're going 40 mile an hour.
No, don't hurt yourself.
But yeah, this, I didn't know if the village wanted to add anything, take anything.
I don't like his D1. No person under 16 should operate a Class 3 electric bike. However, a person under 16 years of age may ride as a passenger. I think that'd be dangerous to ride somebody.
And they probably make
Really
the double
dangerous.
plates. They probably make the double electric plates, make everything else.
These are Class C's or bit bikes that'll run 30 mile an hour too.
You might wanna change it.
They're a bigger bike.
Narrow the scope on the class. You know, not say B or C.
I think we've noted enough close calls in town that we should do something, but I don't know what to do.
But a lot of the close calls, I mean, they could be on bicycles too and have the same close calls.
And if they didn't have a scooter, more than likely they would be on a bicycle. I'm just saying. I remember what it was like to be that age.
Absolutely.
You remember, I remember when you were that age. You were one of them riding bicycles in the street.
Yep, that was me.
So were you.
I have a teenager
That's
and
all the kids are
So
getting
would I.
now.
I have a teenager. He has all three. He rides them. It gives him a sense of freedom. It gets him outside of the house. But I can see where it would cause problems if they're not responsible with it. But
If you restrict the sidewalk, you have to restrict the class to where it's the slowest one they can do. If you're riding on sidewalk, you can't be above a class. What's it? A.
2, that's 1, 2, 3.
30, 35 years ago it was kickstart pedal mopeds. I mean, yeah. The,
Everybody had.
Oh, yeah. there's-
everybody had them, and
It
they,
was longer ago than 30 years.
yeah.
My wife had a Motron
40.
moped that was pedal. It would go 45 mile an hour.
Yeah. Yep.
It's everything football practice. With equipment hanging off the back of it or hanging off me, it still goes 35.
Yeah.
It's a fast little Motron. Coming back to old track.
I don't have to get licensed.
Motron moped. Pedal.
You could be, I think, 14 and a half to ride them.
A Motron is.
Said someone in here about 14.
Look it up.
Thought.
I am. Walk right on.
Yeah, see, no person who's under 14 shall
Oh, look
operate.
how funky they look. Modified seat.
Most people around here have no Hondas or little Suzukis or kids.
Then my day, I think, was a little blue moped. It wasn't Motrons.
Had one over there.
Little cheap moped.
Had one over in Grandma and Grandpa's garage every other weekend. Man, I was on that thing running through the glass lost parking lot,
I saw a guy get a DUI on a moped.
hitting every chuck hole there was with water.
There's
in
some
it.
for sale in case you're in the market.
No,
you think you're good
I'm
enough?
past that. I want an e-bike.
How about riding lawnmowers? Oh, I shouldn't say that. That old lady won't be able to go to the dollar store and vice versa.
That's a good point.
Parked at the Family Dollar Saturday.
Bless her heart. I picked her up one day. Oh my God. I had to Lysol the car down.
Okay.
I don't know what
There's a
restrictions you
different
put on
law.
that.
You got the different one. Look at this one here. Under section Ohio Revised Code section 4511.512, it says, it talks about no one being under the age of 14 shall operate an electric personal assisted mobile device. The copy you put, it's different. This number is different from the one I had last week that Brian passed out.
Should be the same. I think it came from the same
It's a
place.
different number.
This is .522 and this is .512.
See, Brian,
They're different.
you messed it up.
Oh no.
It's still the same. It still has a 14.
And the total of this is operation of electrical personal assisted mobility devices. It says the local authority may regulate or prohibit the operation of electric personal assisted mobile devices on public streets, highways, sidewalks, and paths, and portions of the roadway set aside for the exclusive use of bicycles under this jurisdiction.
Each individual village.
This reads a little different. Maybe you want
You can build on it, make it more restrictive.
to, I don't know.
Can put their own.
Yep. We can do that with any ordinance.
Then you
Designated
have something in place. That's all.
if they want it.
Where in the hell did they need to go to
I'm not
the
either.
road?
I think we're gonna have something.
What, Billy?
Where would you designate a place for them to ride them? I mean,
Then they got to be able to get them there.
there.
Sure. Well, I think the designated place would be, you would have to restrict no main thoroughfares. You know, I think that's what they're meaning. You know, keep them off Main Street, keep them off China Street, keep them off South State Street. You know, if you're riding them up and down Winter Street, it's less likely to get run over by a bunch of traffic than if you were out on the main drags. Yeah. I think that's what they're meaning there. See a bunch of kids riding them to the pool went through the summer.
Oh, I bet.
Wasn't much
It'll
last
be-
year.
It'll be a parking lot. Yeah, but they're going to get more
But it's
popular.
getting very, very popular.
They're going to get
If
more
you
and more
remember, we
popular.
had the issue with the four-wheelers, maybe something along the lines.
And as they get more
From point A to
popular,
point B, you go to your destination. It used to be with four-wheelers, motorbikes, wasn't it? You could ride that through town to get to the trails. But you weren't
Yeah,
allowed
see
to
what
ride
that,
around.
they drive them all over the place now.
Remember that, wasn't that?
Still have.
that was our rule.
Not state law as well, I think. I just hate to restrict a 14-year-old kid or a 13-year-old kid with practice over a 20-inch bicycle practice. Just saying.
But with a higher revised code, they're not allowed riding at all.
Hmm?
But with a higher revised code, they're not allowed riding at all.
Get your weeds somewhere.
Accidental injuries too big.
Where's that?
I'm not for making it more restrictive.
I just think we ought to have something in place if we need it. This here paper you gave us, that's the state law anyway, right?
Or
Yeah, it's a higher risk.
So if we don't do anything,
That's the rules.
that's
Still in
the
place.
rules.
Yes.
But I just give it because it states in there each building, like designate, like you said, main.
I'm gonna throw it back on you. What would you see if you was king for a day?
I mean, I'm the same way with Bill. But something's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you restrict a kid from, like he said, going to the pool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a $25,000 helicopter ride to Columbus when they get run over.
But again,
But that could be one kid out of 500.
Yeah.
You know, one trip out of 500 for 500 kids.
it's still a law of $1,400 ride.
And we can't
That's
change
the law
that.
now.
Yeah, and you can't change that.
I don't want to change it.
Can't.
Just want to make it more strict.
But for the other ones that can, I mean, do you the side streets? Do you,
What would you suggest?
is they're all going down the main road to get to?
They're all going to the ice cream shop. They're all going to the swimming
All
pool. They're all going to Circle K.
But if you restrict them from them areas, then they can't, from China and Maine and then they can't go
get
to
to the
them
park.
places.
That's right. Yeah, you can't get to the park. You don't want them out on 93.
Might as well, yeah, Buckeyes clear out Industrial Drive.
If they can't do Maine and China, they can't even put gas on them.
Correct. Well, they're electric.
Electric.
Well, yeah, okay. My bad.
You're
The-
thinking
the-
that bad.
I'm
The-
thinking mopeds.
I don't think you want to take the extension cord that far. But yeah.
I don't think you want to restrict them to the sidewalks. Because twice at the school I about got picked off because I didn't hear them coming. Scooters.
On the reflex.
And then somebody's kids there, I'd bring you over and
It
say,
was too late. They were too fast. They were going too fast.
You'll decide.
That'll be something that'll come down the road in a few years. They'll do like a safety course or something for them and make it mandatory.
Just a matter of what.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. It'll be money driven. A $10 permit. You got to go through a safety course and sit 3 hours on a Saturday on learning how to start, stop, and where to go.
Well, it's like the side by side. They want to get them inspected to get a
Yeah,
plate.
that's right.
Well, now they're running the side by sides over to ABV area and they're getting fined.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
There's that gray
Take an
area.
off-road vehicle, turn
Yep.
it into an on-road vehicle.
Yep.
You're not all having an on-road vehicle in the
In the APV. Yep.
so now they're getting fined for that.
Yep. Yep. Then the highway patrol can pull you over if it's on the road and say, "Where's your insurance?" And then suspend your license for it if you don't have one. It can muck up lots of things. I've seen it happen.
You got a $30,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
Some of them were
Yeah.
$30,000.
Oh, there. Yeah.
More.
They're more than that now. Yeah. Some of them tricked out ones man them 4 doors.
80. 60. 70.
got got money in them more than people have in their houses.
And they run 100 mile an hour plus. And
I
the
don't know, I've never tried it. Well,
guy I work with says his will do 100 easy.
Just like
But he's afraid to go too much.
Exactly. Mine had a basket on it.
Well,
Okay. Anybody else have anything? I mean, everybody want to think about it, or
So come up with some suggestions on what you want to do, or just live with it
From a safety aspect,
from a
put
safety aspect. what
put
you would
put
like.
some thought to it, and we can hash around some more.
Sound fair?
what do you citizens think about the e-bike on the road?
Pretty darn dangerous, cause I know that you won't pass my house a lot. That route's only 25, and I know cars go faster than that down that road. I think something needs to happen.
just throwing it out there, but it's,
Well, come up with some suggestions on what you think would work for here. Above and beyond that, or with that, equivalent to it.
I mean, do you restrict the hours that you can ride them? And not basically say no Main Street, no China Street, no Buckeye Street. You just say during the hours of such and such and such and such when the traffic is busiest. I don't know. You know, would that lower the risk of being?
well, then that's the time they're all free.
Well,
you don't
I'm
wanna-
thinking summer vacation.
Oh.
You know, when the kids are kind of restless and it's 10:30 in the morning and everybody's at work or something. You know what I mean?
Well, the pool don't open till noon. Kids are up at 8 o'clock wanting to go somewhere.
Kids are up at 8 o'clock. I was
Yeah.
told
Say they
that.
sleep
I'd be
until
lucky to
noon.
get up and go to the pool.
they're not up at 8 o'clock, Fred. I have 3 of them. There's no way. They might be going to bed at 8 o'clock. They're not
that's
getting up
right.
at 8
It's a
o'clock.
reverse. Yeah, they're just now going to bed.
And I definitely think they shouldn't be riding them at night.
Right.
And I know
Yeah, there's no lights on them. I don't believe.
some of them do
They,
have
do
lights,
Evidently.
but it's
The law
still
says you have to have a light on.
so. But even at that, that's something that definitely scares me. Is a lot of them do ride them at night.
There's where you can restrict the times on that too. Something to consider.
Okay, Brian, you done for now? Okay, I'll have your extra copies up here if you need them. Chief Newland?
Alright, give you guys a couple pieces of paper there, Don, specifically for you, what you requested. The first paper that says EMS full-time on the top of it was the numbers that Courtney came up with today, what it will cost per year to have that. The second paper, go over it real quick, we average 150 EMS runs a month. That's not including fire runs, things like that. It's just billable runs that we could do, which is, it's about 1,800 runs a year. Med said we average about $450 a run is what we collect. And that would average out to about $810,000 a year. To hire 2 basics and 2 medics full-time would be about $217,000, about $218,000. And there's 2 options there. Option 2 would be the better option. It would cost a little bit more than $217,000, but option 1, it would leave Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday open for the part-timers to pick up. And we were wondering about if that $450 was correct. So this year, we've done 154 transports, and we brought in $70,000 roughly. So it's pretty close to that. Last year, 2025, we did 505 transports, and it brought in $280,000. Like I said, it's pretty close to the number that Medi-Accounts gave us. That's just something to kick around, because we're averaging 45 open shifts a month right now, and that's what we've been pretty steady at that. I don't think it's gonna get any better. Me and Chief Baker talked with the price that the payroll that we pay and everybody around us, the lack of people for one. I know we've got a few new EMTs this went through class, that's gonna help a little bit. One of them did actually just pass, actually. But he's gonna be a weekend, he works Monday through Friday, like 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day. So weekend shifts work pretty good on weekends. It's during the week, especially in like the evening and afternoons, we really have problems getting coverage. So this is something to think about. Do we wanna explore this option more, see what we can do, or what's your thoughts?
That's gonna, either option will cover Monday through Friday. Option one,
Option two only covers Tuesday, or, actually, yeah, it does.
Covers Monday through Friday. Option two covers Monday through
Option
Friday.
one only covers Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday for sure.
okay, so it covers 5 days 1 week and 3 days the next week.
4 days. Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday was
Oh,
option one.
okay. It's Monday, Friday, not Monday through Friday.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2 days. And that was another thing that Courtney had brought up. These figures involve insurance, which if they're full-time, you gotta offer it, and overtime. We can't do, there's no way you could do comp time with this, because within 6 months, they'd have enough comp time to take 2 years off.
Right.
So it would have to be, in which the figures that Courtney had come up with, that includes the overtime in there. Overtime, insurance, retirement, and Medicare.
And are you asking for 2 employees?
It would be 4 total.
4 total.
And I'll be honest, the price for the employees would probably, I don't think we're gonna get 2 medics to come work full time.
That's gonna have to go up $5 an hour
Yeah.
minimum.
Yeah, I think we can get 4 basics to work full time, possibly intermediate.
Cause you're not gonna get any medics, cause they can go 10 miles up the road and get it for $20 an hour all day long.
Yeah, the medics, we're not gonna, we don't have a lot of medics on the department in the first place anyway.
But you're gonna need them.
Yeah,
If you're gonna run full time, you're gonna need them.
that's why.
Cause then you can't run if you need to push drugs, if you need anything, you can't run a double basic like that.
Yeah, you still can. You don't have to have a medic. I mean, it's good that you could have one, but you don't.
You gotta have advanced, or you gotta have a medic to push drugs, right?
To push the drugs, but just, if you don't have it, you just don't push it. Simple as that. You just go transport to the hospital and go with it. Or you call for a medic assist, which that's what most places are doing that don't have their medics anyway.
Yep.
But I don't really see us getting medics down here. Basics and maybe an intermediate or 2 full time. I'm just looking at, it's like we were talking, we're to a point that where we have to do something, because we can't keep where we're at. And we beat our heads, and I don't think it's gonna get any better, because like I said, we can't pay more. And this is the only option to get the coverage side, in my opinion, and Chief Baker also.
Wasn't that part of the reason we passed the second levy is?
Tax money will start rolling in next year.
That was only 1 out of the 4 townships we have contacts with.
Yeah, that Harrison Township's not gonna be enough to,
No.
it's gonna help, but it's not gonna be near enough to what we need.
we didn't have that $2 million fire station, we could do it, but that takes all of our money.
I don't disagree, Fred, but I also think that we gotta cover all the shifts we can possibly cover.
Well, I understand.
If we got 45 open shifts a month now, and you take 4 people out of that single shift rotation, if you take 5 shifts, well, actually, it's 15 shifts a week out, covered by full-timers.
You're talking 24-hour
John?
shifts, right?
John, that would actually be more than 15 shifts because we do 8-hour shifts, so it would actually be more than that. There would only be, because if we did this, the Monday through Friday coverage, we would only have, we'd only have 8 open shifts a month that wasn't covered.
It needed filled.
That needed filled, yeah. Because there's, on the weekends, we do 12-hour shifts, so actually it would be 16, because there's, you got 4 shifts a day, so.
Right.
16, 24, yeah.
I just
And,
think,
and some of them on the weekends pick up to 20, that's where a lot of people actually pick up to 24-hour shifts on the weekend, but yeah, it would be a lot less,
a lot less open shifts.
yeah.
That's kind of where I was going when I talked to him about looking back into this again. We talked about this a year ago. Maybe it's something we need to look back into, because, it's easier to get people to give you money. It's easier to get levies through if you're making the runs, all the runs. If you're not missing runs, other than if you're gone somewhere, you're out somewhere, and you're making 95% of your runs, it's easier to get levies passed than it is if, well, I'm not gonna pass a levy for them guys, they never show up anyway, cause there's never nobody at the station. And if we can't do it, that's one thing.
Well, and the townships at least need to put it to the voters and let it be out there to where they can vote on it.
I don't disagree with that.
You meet resistance every time you go to those meetings. They don't want to put them on the ballot to begin with.
There's always pushback,
Sure.
but they have to come to the understanding that our fire, EMS, and police are critical infrastructure. You have to have it, and you have to support them. If they don't like it, then we'll just do away with their contract, but that's not going to help us out in. If they go somewhere else, they're going to pay more. If they go, there
is nowhere to go.
There is nowhere to go.
They can build their own. They can spend $2.5 million and build a building and spend $5 million on equipment.
Yeah. When we know that's not going to happen.
No.
And like this here too is, I know it's all about the money. If it works like the numbers are showing that it's working, this pays for itself. As long as they get, I know.
Well, at those hours it does. At that hourly rate, but you're gonna have to pay more.
No. Ravensburg covers theirs. They pay less than we do. I took this off of their thing. And I know it's only one place, but I think at them out, the overtime, where they get overtime, that's what's gonna help us. So I think we'd be fine at that hour. I think we could do it. It's $11.50, $12.50, and $13.50 an hour. That's the goal, is not to have to raise the hourly rate.
That
to
overtime
get the
figured in
coverage,
there?
so.
You have all the overtime figured in there?
Yeah, 8 hours of overtime a week.
8?
Well, that's on option 1. No, that's on option. Yeah, option.
You
one.
just told me
Option two,
48
like I
hours
said,
a week, because that's what I figured up.
Yeah,
Yes.
option 2 would be more if we decided to go that way, but we'd have to figure that out later.
Option one crew would work Monday and Friday, and the other crew would work Tuesday and Thursday.
Yep.
So you'd be covered Monday, Tuesday, you'd only be covered every day but Wednesday.
Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday,
Right.
part-timers. And I think that would help tremendously. Option 2 obviously is the better one, but I think option 1 would be a great start. Because that leaves the part-timers time to pick up.
Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday.
Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday. That'd be where they pick up time.
That'd be where you pick up time.
You know, we also discussed what happens if we pick option 1 that fails. Because we know option 2 we can't afford. So if we pick option 1 and say, let's go ahead and try it, and it fails, 6 months down the road, where do we go?
I like the idea of having the shifts covered just like everybody else does. But honestly, it scares me. Financially, it scares me.
Courtney? Bean counter.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I think if it would work, it's a great idea. It just,
If it doesn't,
yeah.
where do we put ourselves if it doesn't?
Right.
I mean, that's the question. Are we willing to
Back to where we are right now.
Yeah. We put in this way worse than where we are right now. wouldn't it?
That's the way I looked at it. That if
Yeah,
we
'cause then
ask
you've got-
4 people to
Then
leave
you've
their
got
jobs,
Right.
and
You're asking 4 people to leave their jobs, come here to work. If it doesn't work, then you're back to part-time at will, put in your hours and
then the
give me
4
your-
people that we did hire are going to be
Mad.
jaded,
Sure.
and they're not going to be putting in hours. Because if I quit my full-time job for another full-time job and it only lasted 6 months, I'm not going to want to go and work part-time again. I'm done. Maybe not everybody would feel that way, but you know, everybody's, and I
No,
get,
I'm-
I get it. I like the idea of the coverage. It just, financially, it really worries me. Because, you know, especially with the new squad coming on, that's another additional payment we've got. And Lord knows if we could pick up as many runs as possible, I'd feel a lot better, but it does, it scares me. I don't want to get to the point where we have to tell
I
4
still
people.
like my idea, if you work more, you earn more.
Yeah.
Coming up with some sort of solution to do it that way, where you know, say you pick up 10 shifts in a month, someone else picks up 5, you make more money than that person picking up the 5 shifts, and then they'd end up fighting every shift if you would set up a structured scale to where they could make more money by picking up more shifts. Or you have to do it weekly. You'd have to do it weekly because they get paid weekly, right? Or is it bi-weekly?
EMS is bi-weekly.
it's every 2 weeks.
Bi-weekly is even better because that gives you 2 weeks of runs, 14 days, and have a structured schedule. If you pick up, so that means, what, wait, 12-hour shifts now? So that means there's 28 shifts? Are they 12-hour shifts?
They're 8.
Eight.
8's through the week and 12 all the weekends.
Well, you'd have to figure out all into the structure, but once you figured it into the structure of how you was putting it together,
We went
if you work
to
more, you get paid more. If you work less, you don't make as much money.
we went to 8s years ago because people was the,
job.
the different 24-hour Kelly
Yeah.
days and 12-hour shifts. They
Yeah.
couldn't get there in the amount of time and whatnot. And they were always overlapping or underlapping. Somebody had to leave here at 6 to get to their job.
I like Bill's idea.
I mean,
I
this
don't
is
know
about a
how
while
to figure
ago,
it
and
in.
I still think it's a way to try. That's where, then we're not gonna lose money that way. I mean, you're gonna pay a little more money if people work a lot of
Right.
shifts, but we're gonna gain money because the shifts are gonna be covered. If they don't work the shifts, we're gonna pay the same money we're paying right now. And you're gonna have the same thing we got going on right now, but if they get to see it, and hey, I picked up 6 shifts. How many shifts would there be in a week or 2-week period?
2-week period, a whole bunch.
That's 3 a day, right? That's 5 times 3 is
19 a
15.
week.
Well,
They were talking about going to 24 hours. So
No, I'm not talking about going to 24 hours. I'm talking about doing
Just
just
now.
like we do it now, just picking up a
8-hour
shift.
shifts.
How many shifts is there in a 2-week period?
Two.
3 times.
34 shifts.
Well, then you times that by 2 for each person, so
Yeah.
64 shifts a week.
60.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double.
Yeah.
We got 2 people.
I'm just talking about each person per shift picking up shifts. So if you said there's 34
Yeah.
in a week,
For,
Is that-
yeah. For a
so
single
there's
shift.
64 in that period. So let's come up with a number. If you work this many shifts, you make. If you work a minimum of them up to 10, you make what we make now. If you work 15 shifts,
Yeah.
you make $1 more or $2 more. And if you work 20 shifts, you make $3 more. Well, I don't care what the number is, but what I'm saying is if you make it to where they could make more money if they worked more shifts.
A tiered incentive.
A tiered incentive is what it is.
Like the 8-hour thing that we put in place, everybody pretty much was hitting that, except there's two people.
Was looking
I'm talking about making an incentive if they decide to work more,
I
they
know.
can make more money.
That's what I'm getting at, though, is there's a handful of them are doing the 8 hours, and that's all we're seeing.
And they get paid $13.50.
And there's probably, there's not a whole lot, really. Probably 6 or 7 that pick up more than 1 shift a month, so just kind of an idea for you what we got. But most of them, the 8-hour
So
thing.
money's not an incentive?
I think it would be to 1 or 2 of them. But I
So
don't
if you get
think-
1 or 2 people, let's say you get 1 or 2 people
And
working.
that's more shifts covered, and I like that idea, but I don't.
Other
don't
people
think-
just have full-time jobs, Bill, and you can't be there. You can't,
I still think
Getting at. It's not
still
that-
it's
I
worth
don't
trying.
think
You
they
just
don't
can't.
be there.
Right now, you're just
can't beat the dead horse.
right now you're saying either or, and I think there's an option in the middle. I think this option's real, and I think it could be used if we would try it. But
I don't disagree, and I agreed with the last time that it kind of died after the one meeting. We can't if we're gonna do something to help these people, we can't let it die.
Yeah, I would be happy to try that, Bill.
I mean, it's a structured incentive. I mean, and there would be no negative to it, because what you'd be getting is if you got people working, you're going to make more money, and you're going to be able to pay a little more money. So that's where we're paying ahead a little bit on. That's the fear of that whole thing. But I think it would. I think it would pay for itself. I really do.
When I feel like if it did work and we saw it working and we were able to bring in more money, a couple years down the road when
Who
we're
says you
setting a
can't?
little bit better, it would be a little bit safer to go with the full
Right.
time.
So I really kind of think your next step isn't just jumping in 24-hour shifts, because I don't think we're going to be able to do that. It scares the shit out of our treasurer. When the bee counter's scared, that's when I'm scared.
It scares me too, Bill.
No, and I'm not picking on you, but
No, I know.
But that's the way you got to look at it. So I'm thinking, why don't you start with a structured system where you can actually, if people want to work and they see that they're getting paid more money. How many people down there would be more motivated if they thought they was going to make more money if they picked up more shifts?
There's gonna be a couple, because like the mayor said, it's not about them not wanting, it's their other job. That's what-
Oh, I get it. I get it.
That's what's hurt.
All you know,
Well, eventually we're down the road. We're going to
99.
we're going to pay a little more. because
99,
we're
not
getting a
yet.
little more tax revenue in.
Yeah.
Then you get up that incentive.
We're paying for more people to take classes, so a couple more people go through classes. That's a couple more shifts picked up here and there. maybe they'll get the, if they're new, just starting, they pick
It might
up
be an
on the
opportunity for our
incentive.
people to make some money if they work a lot of shifts. And for those who don't, they're gonna continue to do what they do, which is fine too. We need them to.
So like I said, everybody's putting in, there's two people that's not. Everybody else is doing the minimum, so that's a
Sure.
plus.
That's plus, that's plus.
It is a plus. Because everybody else got a full-time job.
Yeah.
It's just 90.
I'm open to try whatever, but.
I just think we'll have a hard time getting someone to leave. Like, put yourself in that position.
With this,
Yeah.
I guarantee this will be filled within 2 weeks. Guaranteed.
You think?
Guaranteed. It's weird, Chris, because like I was telling Lacey and Courtney, people in the fire and EMS, it's about the money, but you can offer them $11 to go work at a 911 company, or $30 to go work at a private ambulance company. They're going to pick that 911 company over that private ambulance company almost every time.
You know, there's a backstory to that too. A lot of your privates abuse the hell out of their employees.
And it's the adrenaline, the lights and sirens. That's what a lot of these. It makes no sense to me financially, but I see it all the time.
Yeah, I'm game for whatever you want to do.
I know at one point Jan said she was gonna look into that, and I don't know
I think
if
we
it
need-
went anywhere else with the incentive program.
I think we need to try to get, if we're gonna look at the incentive program, I think we need to move on it rather than, because it's been at least 6 weeks or more,
Oh,
months. It's been probably 4 months since we talked about it.
probably longer than that.
Probably about a year.
And we did it once. So we did it, we come up with a basic plan, if I remember that night, and then it's gone. We never talked about it again. Now, all I really wanna do is I wanna see that emergency squad go out every time that call comes out.
That's what I'd like to see. That's what our town wants to see too.
Right.
They want to see camaraderie over there from what past that's all the crap that went down. So they want you guys to be happy. They want you all to be doing
But
the
we
job.
also can't put the fire department under. Okay?
Right.
You know, we have to be able to afford what we do.
And sustain it long term.
Yes. Got to be able to do it and sustain. Maybe put this on next
Yeah, I'll try and get something ready for next workshop.
workshop, and everybody can think about it. When we come back, we can talk about it and get some better ideas.
For the incentive.
Yes.
Or both.
Or both.
Well, we
There
can,
should probably more numbers around with that too, because you also comp, insurance, and medical.
Insurance and everything
Part-time
in
would
that,
save
I
us
24
included in that.
$1,300 a month.
Huh?
Part-time would save us $1,300 a month right off the bat
Yeah.
for the insurance.
Well, 1,500, yeah.
Yeah. But I don't have.
It's just a small little, I mean, that's just the first, it's just one of the numbers.
$1,500
Calculating what would work and what.
Yeah.
I just trying to look at it the way that people could still have the opportunity to make money, and the village is not at risk of having their account dry in 6 to 8 months. And
So what would happen if we didn't do the 2 medics and we did 4 basic? You guys still think we wouldn't be able to have the money? Let's do 2 medics and do the 4 basic. You guys mentioned that.
Well, with that, like I said, the $810,000 a year was probably more realistically, probably $650,000 a year profit.
Okay.
That's not including your truck payments, all that, or the grants, but even with 2 basics, or 4 basics, that would be $206,000 a year. Is what it will cost for that.
Do we have a medic now?
We have a couple, like 2 medics. But I can tell you, they would never come here full time. Not for that bad.
That's what I'm saying, probably the 4 basics, like what you said. instead of-
It would be more realistic, it would be basics that we hired, not medics.
And I guess everybody think on it, Mayor, you or I can get with Jan
Yeah.
and see what she ended up finding out.
I doubt she's had any time to look at anything on it, Lacey. We'll have to push that to the forefront.
We talked about that pay scale, the 3 tiers. My note says 8 to 16 hours, tier 1. The second tier was 17 to 32 hours, and the third tier was 33 to 64 hours. That's what my note said.
I know Jan was looking at,
But she
it was brought up to see if we would even be able to do something like that.
Yeah, see if it's even legal.
But there's a 32-hour a week maximum. I made a note of that. But I didn't say why that was 32
Benefit.
hours a week. That
There-
I got
that's
that
the end of
considered full
part-time
time over
somewhere.
that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
That takes you
Well, back in the
part-time
day,
before full-time.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but back in the day, Ralph always tried to keep everybody under 24.
Right.
24 hours a week, because it assumed after 24 you
Yes.
started having to get into the benefits and so forth. So you got to watch that too, if you're going to still keep it part time.
Yeah, after so long after doing that,
It's got to be consecutive, but if it's more than 24,
Yeah. Now, those things have to be taken into consideration, but I think we've got to
Sure.
do some research and see what you can and what you do. And
I agree.
and it was always a manipulation there. Somebody would run 32, they dropped down to 18 for a couple weeks, and then 24. You know, they was always trying to keep right at that 24-hour range.
it's
it's hard to do when you're trying to get the shifts covered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
well, that's why you have to. Yeah,
tricky.
Yeah.
that's why you got 46 on the roster, and everybody has to pitch in.
Yeah.
We have 46 on the roster.
I don't know what we have now. We've had a few drop off. I'd have to check the updated one. I'll actually, next workshop, I'll bring the updated list of
Yeah,
on the roster and
it's averaging 40 to 45.
what their status is.
Thank you for.
Okay.
Okay. Moving along, Fred, you wanted to talk about alley paving.
Yeah, I did. Much as we hate to hear it, we don't get any points for alleys, so we pave alleys. But that have to come out of income tax. And we have some alleys that is totally messed up. I mean, they need paved bad.
Yep.
The worst one, and this is my opinion, I ask you all to go drive it. The alley up on the hill above Sand Street between 2nd and 3rd Street, the alley that runs east and west. You have somewhere 12 to 16 houses that access that alley up there. And it's bad. That's just the one. Then we have other ones the alley between Elizabeth Street and North Buckeye, across from Chief Walter's house, that alley is terrible. And the one on the other side of Buckeye, from Buckeye and Walnut, part of it's bad.
Between Vaughn and McKeever.
And
That alley's.
that alley
shot.
between Vaughn and McKeever.
Yeah.
That's in,
Valley.
pardon me?
It's across the chicken sale.
Yeah. The alley
I know,
there
you have to get an estimate.
between
But you need to do drainage.
Cahalan.
You gotta do storm drains and stuff like that on these alleys. If you're gonna spend the kind of money that it costs today to pave, you gotta do it right. You're just gonna put a Band-Aid on it, you're gonna run a trash truck up it, and you're just gonna tear it up in 2-3 years.
Unless we go to putting, everybody puts their trash out on the street. You're right. And then that's
We need the drain systems.
Yeah, yep, you gotta get the water off of them.
so,
They're washing them out.
and, you know, I mean, you can't
That's
pave
that's
and
a
not
clear
put anything on the
Washington
edge to
Street.
hold the edge. They're not holding the edge, period. And those houses that anywhere it has an access to a garage or a drive off of the alley, it needs to be, that little portion needs paved, and that would save a lot of, you know.
Most of
the
these alleys that you're
expense.
talking about had the water line replaced on them.
Some of them, I believe that one did. No, it went up the
I know the
East Brown Street, and then,
I know the one you talked about over here between China and Walnut.
yeah,
One between High
So-
Ridge and.
Well, Pine Ridge. Yeah, that one. Yeah. That runs north-south.
yeah, the run, and
Yeah.
they're really
It's washed
bad.
out.
We just need to figure out, I mean, I think we need to score them some way, and then take and do 3 a year. But that went up there between 2nd and 3rd Street up on the hill,
How long?
between East Brown and Summit. That is all, they going there 1,000 yards long.
1,000 yards.
But there's, you know, around 12 to 16 properties that access their house because the streets they can't park on.
Well, there's no street there to park on.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean,
it's an 8-foot wide alley, basically.
right.
All those roads up there are just 8 or 10 foot wide.
So, I don't know, what's the other councilman think? We're not going to get, it has to come out of income tax, there's no other way to fund
There's
it.
no points. You're not going to get any
No
any
points.
issue 2 money from it.
We talk about this every year, but there's some of them you just have to do. And,
And
you
there's
know, the
no
mayor's right about the storm drainage on some of them.
all of them.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say all of them, but some of them.
I'd
But
say
they
most
do
of
create a problem.
Most of them.
If you don't put storm drains on them, the water's
You remember Washington
washing them
Street?
out.
Washington Street's a prime example. Right up by Scott's. There wasn't a storm drainage in there before we put that in there.
Mean on the lower street or up above with
Clear up to
Scott?
Hiles all the way down that
All the
hill.
way down.
The one we did 2 years ago.
Right. Well, that's true, and that one wasn't done right. If you look at it, originally when they put the big stone in there, we have the same problem, and I had the Alexanders complain about it, and when what's her name lived there.
Hanson.
No, I'm talking about on Sand Street, when you go up to First Street,
Sand Street all the way down.
you know, that, when you hit East Brown up there down along First Street, that's all done. And it all needs redone, the storm drainage there. It's bad because it doesn't go anywhere. It crosses over and it ends up, and they built, by Brian, you know how your water goes down through your dad's and gets in along your house. And the Sours is the same place, but there's a catch basin there, but the water don't get to it. It goes around it. So there's other issues that we have to look at. We have some water for storm drainage where we can get an estimate, but we need to know where we have storm drainage and where we don't. that's a whole different issue. But
Well, I think that's
but
probably
the
one that's
paving
gonna-
of the alleys,
It's probably one that's gonna have to be attacked before the paving the alleys, what it sounds like to me.
Does.
I mean, at least the ones you target, you're gonna have to have that built into whatever you're gonna expend. Is at least get the drainage done on that alley when you're paving it.
It's like we did on the High Street alley, you know, we had the High Street alley, we did the storm drain, and then we paved it. We tied it into the storm drain at the
but
bottom of
at
China Street.
the up on the hill, we have no idea where storm drains are.
Where? On Summit?
Mm-hmm.
There are, I don't believe there is any.
So that's an engineering study that has to be done, and
I don't believe there is a storm drain up there.
but in my opinion, just driving it, not worrying about storm drainage, if we put those wings out for the people who are going into their driveways, that would stop a lot of that caving in on the side. We have to have some way to hold the sides up, but there again,
Water wash.
some of these alleys that I've looked at should be ground down, because that's where your water issue comes in. I mean, this is serious, and we have no way to pay for it but income tax. But the taxpayers want something done with their alleys, and we have to come up with a plan of how we're going to address them. And they have to be categorized some way. And I'd like to see some engineering study be done on our alleys, so we can come up with some type of strategic plan to how we're going to pave some of these. Now, I made a motion, we passed setting that back, $5,000 a month for paving. That would help some, but we have some money in stormwater where we can help pay for a study. But we had to have it's getting bad. I ask each and every one of you to drive around the alleys and just look at them. And
Well, most of those alleys weren't paved until Doug Cannon became mayor.
that's correct. And I don't know how that was done.
88,
After the
89.
sewer project.
Yeah, and he got some federal funding for that because they did all the alleys pretty much in town.
I'm so sure it wasn't tied to the back end of the sewer
Might have
project,
been
was
tied
it?
to the back end of the sewer project, but I know that
All
before those alleys, all those alleys you're talking about were gravel.
right.
'Cause we used to buy gravel, tons and tons of gravel, and pour it on that one alley you're talking about up there, and then they was putting gravel on that thing.
Go down to the bottom of the hill and scoop it all up.
Yeah,
Haul it
put
back
gravel on
up.
that thing every year, twice, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I
And
think they
there's
were.
several places in town where the gravel goes down to the end of the road. You know, it just,
Yeah,
there's nothing to hold it. I don't know, what's council's opinion? What should we do? It's only going to get worse.
Pick your worst 3 alleys, and then go from there as far as, I don't know, prioritize them.
Pick Summit Street. If you want to do the alley on Summit Street, we'll get an estimate for storm drain and 8-foot wide paving. That's all you can do. Bring it to council. If it's 50 grand, you'll know what it is.
Who do we hire to do the study?
Just get an estimate.
I think if we're paying for a study, an engineering study, we're taking money away from the actual paving.
Well, if we
Right.
use it, we can use some of the stormwater money.
But then you're gonna need
But
to
then
put
put in
water
your
money to
storm-
replace
Put in your
Stormwater.
storm drains.
If we're just using that to pick where we're gonna do, I mean,
That's
Well,
what
hell, we gotta do something.
well, no, but I
Sure,
don't
it's
think
gonna
anybody's.
take money.
I'm just saying if we're gonna hire an engineering firm to do this study, I'd rather see an extra alley done rather than
Do a study.
to do a study. Because if
That's-
we're paying to do,
you could probably do 3 extra alleys compared to what we pay the engineering firm.
because then we're gonna spend all our money on the
So-
study and not be able to do any of the alleys.
So we just go ahead and pave and don't worry about the study. We know which ones are bad, just pave them.
I mean, I would rather,
You gotta do the storm drains first.
right.
Gotta get the water off the street, off the road.
I don't think anybody disagrees that the alleys are bad and they need paved. I don't think that's it.
They are bad. Over in your neighborhood, they got some of that money thrown in when the water lines got replaced.
Yeah, actually, they did the alley up behind,
Burley Street.
Is that?
Yeah,
Did they
Burley,
do that alley because of,
Burley
It's
Street.
getting
out.
bad again.
Sure.
The one over on the other side where Industrial Drive Alley, I call it, it needs paved. Where those trailers are.
Oh yeah, it needed paved 20 years ago.
Yeah. And
Mark don't know.
some of the storm drain comes underneath that alley, a big storm drain. Maybe two of them come down there, dump into the bottom.
Yep.
Then that presents another problem because that needs taken over to the creek, which is some of that's collapsed. We hadn't had a big gusher storm so you can see where it's really bad, but we have one. We'll find out. But I kind of have a suspicion. So can our people go up there and look at that, our employees, and say, hey, we need a storm drain here and a storm drain here, and put a catch basin in here and there?
Just like the last projects we've done, we did the Washington Street project in-house, but the High Street project, I believe, if I'm not wrong, I think Headley did that one.
you know, Haley did the one over on Brown Street, Karen Brown's, what is that?
Yeah.
But he also, I think, did the drainage work for the High Street.
Yeah, I think he did the High Street drainage, and then we hired somebody to pave it.
But the one
McKee or
behind,
somebody paved it.
the one behind your house, that needs done too,
Oh yeah, it's bad.
all the way.
Yeah.
Cross it over and all the way over to.
Yeah. And the storm drain needs repaired on it because when they ran the water line across it, they cut through the storm drain.
Nobody knows.
So the storm drain just pops up right there where the water line ran across, and then it just finishes up and runs down to China Street. That storm drain's only a 6-inch piece of CPVC pipe or cast iron, depending on where you're at.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it right. Put it right in the middle of the road and taper the road to it, like we did on High Street and all these other ones, and get your water down to the bottom of the hill without washing the road out.
That one on First Street needs done.
Yep.
I mean, that section,
It fills up and then runs over to,
yeah. The Alexanders and the Sourses.
yep, and then it runs all the way down.
Coleman's. The water,
Coleman's.
water get to Coleman's too, over there, from across through there.
Runs down
I know
First Street.
your mom and dad's house gets it, because Skinny's complained about it, and, we just gotta fix it somewhere.
Yep.
And I know the people who live next to your mom and dad, they really got it,
That cutout,
yeah.
Yeah.
the storm drain was right there and they paved it.
Was Harrison's, but they're dead and gone now,
There's
but,
storm drain back there.
Paved
Good.
over the storm drains there.
Good. I think there's the storm drain's actually on the opposite side of the road on that, isn't it? And
there's,
Their house, right in front of mom and dad's.
yeah. And one across the street, and Gerald's is.
Gerald's, yeah.
But it plugs up, and water don't get to it now because of the way that the,
Paved over, he
Yeah.
said. So it's like hard to get water down a drain that's paved over.
Sure, sure.
And I'm sure
Oh,
as we
yeah.
do this, we're gonna find a lot of storm drains that when they put the water lines in are screwed up.
Well, that,
And they're collapsed, and they're old, and some
They're
are,
old.
some are
They're old.
cast iron,
They're
some
either
are tile.
yeah,
24-inch tile that collapsed, that's what we had there behind,
Yeah.
over by the Legion.
you can
I
come,
had one of them on Keystone Street, they just.
There's
knocked
one
it
that
out in the
I
floor.
told Lacey she put a work order in today for it. Behind Dick Cannon's old house.
Doug?
Yeah, I went and looked. It's a storm drain. It's the bell's separated. There's a hole about 6-8 inches. You know, and I can stick my hand down it and not touch the bottom.
Yeah.
So that's another one. That's
Storm drain on Buckeye Street right there at Ridge Avenue, completely full. You
Yeah.
can't get, there's no water that goes in it. It runs right over the road and to the
But-
creek.
would it do any good to take that truck and vacuum that out and clean it out and see if we can get some water going through it? I mean, we got a back truck, I think, don't we?
It's on its last leg, but yes, we have one.
So, what do you suggest we do, Lacey, and how we should attack this alley?
I mean, I think all we can do is get estimates. I mean, that's, I think, the place to start is to get an idea of what it's gonna cost. So pick 3 alleys. Give me 3 alleys.
Start it.
And I'll
start
talk to
it.
the guys. Is this something that, you know, with the storm drains, is this something they can do? Is it
Start it.
something we're not gonna be able to do out in-house, out-of-house? And then we look at the cost of paving them.
Start at your highest points, the tallest hills, start there. So if you want to do Summit Street first, we can do that. We can start on High Street, you can do one there. You could probably go over on Heskett and figure something out over there, coming down Brown, over by your old place. And all the water that used to run in that yard.
That was bad over there.
Yeah.
So you're saying,
It
look
had
at
the
this,
storm drain, it was just in the wrong spot.
you're saying, look at the storm drains on Summit, High, and Heskett, starting out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
And
But if you want to prioritize Summit, do Summit first, get an estimate for that one. And then come up here on High Street.
But the one behind, between Elizabeth and North Buckeye, what's that?
That one there, that's what I'm saying, up on High Street. The one that runs north and south
North
from,
and south, yeah.
between North
I mean,
Buckeye
that
and China.
catch basin's back there and they're crushed by trash trucks.
That may be, Bill. That may be.
Catch basins were crushed up. I remember Tom was talking about that all the time.
I think that's why they went, I think that's why they went with the middle of the road when they did High Street this last one. You know, they put the drains in the middle of the road, middle of the street. And so it may not be feasible for that,
Yeah.
but, you know, depends on where the water line is.
My opinion is, I think we need to pick one alley and do it.
Yeah.
And then pick the next alley.
Yep.
Because we get so many irons in the fire that we get none of them done. And I believe the one up on Summit Street's probably the one that needs it the most.
so the
my
alley up
opinion.
on Summit Street.
Yes,
First,
Okay.
First and Second Street.
Yeah. 'cause
Second
when you're down
to
at
third.
Curtis, going like
Second to
this the whole
third.
time. You're
That
driving.
section.
I just think if we go get estimates on 10 alleys, we're gonna
You'll overwhelm yourself
we'll
and.
overwhelm ourselves. If we do one at a time, we
One at
got
a time.
one done.
That's right.
That's
got
one
one done.
more that we
Yep.
don't have to do.
That's right.
That's just my opinion.
Yep.
All I can do is get quotes. We can start looking at prices and see what we can and can't do.
sounds reasonable.
Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
That's fine. We gotta do something.
Start where you start.
I mean, I think we all have a responsibility to drive around and double check what you feel is the worst, but to me, that one up on the hill
I
is
think that
bad.
probably
What was the lady that complained to you? Where was she at? Was it up on Second, Third, or Summit? Is that-
No, that was a gentleman complained to me about that.
Dave
Now,
Loves, I think lives up there, doesn't he?
Who's that?
Dave Love, he
Yeah.
said, talk to me a little bit about it.
David Love. And then, the other lady was there at Doug Cannon's old house about that big plastic boat.
Doug Cannon where?
They're beside where I used to, mom and dad's old house.
Nobody even lives in that.
Yeah, there's a lady that lives there. Right beside Julie.
See, Billy, you ain't been keeping up the neighborhood. What's
Oh, on
wrong?
Winter Street.
Yeah.
Well, that ain't Star Street. Winter Street ain't Star Street. I think that Winter Street. I was gonna say, hell, that house needs to be torn down.
Oh, yeah, we know where that one's at. That's on the
Doug Cannon
list.
lived there right first.
That was his
and then he
mother.
moved there. His
Yeah.
mother.
Anything else for the good of the order?
Hey, do anything with that house up on Main real quick, just real fast. The one up on Main where the sign says Larry's Tire Shop, it's in it, that house.
On the corner of Main.
Someone from Ulex owns it. We've tried to get it tore down several times, and even had it one time offered, I think, they would tore it down and pretty much handed him back the property.
I don't know how it's standing
Could
out.
have got back
that's
for
not-
nothing, next to nothing,
It's disgusting.
and he wouldn't do it.
It keeps paying the taxes.
Serious?
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah.
So we could get him on that.
Yep.
It's just horrible.
It's been condemned. Health department. Can't live in it. Just sits there.
And we can't try to get him to tear it down? No?
Well,
You can tear it down if you want.
No.
we
Costs
we
money.
could, we could. There's a way of doing it. Because we have a property maintenance code that he's not abiding by.
Yeah, we did put in a property maintenance code. I remember that.
You take the steps alone that are destroyed there, the porch is, I mean, it could, and you got a collapse hazard. I mean, there's so much involved there, you know.
We cut 3 feet off the porch 2 years ago when the squad got wedged in between the telephone pole and the porch.
And then,
Somebody,
When I was a
somebody
mayor-
swerved to miss the dog.
not to
Yeah.
prolong this meeting, but when I was the mayor, I cited that gentleman to the court 3 times. He failed to appear each time. Nothing was ever happened.
Right, because you got to spend money to put him in jail, Fred.
So,
We could probably go about it like we did Sprinkles, but we ended up paying and ended up getting reimbursed for that, right?
We didn't get reimbursed for it. We just took the property.
Just took the property.
Yeah.
We was lucky we got that.
Right.
We was lucky the other people didn't get that.
Correct.
so without a good property maintenance enforcement, we'll just continue to degrade in our houses and places in town, like Doc Tedrow's place.
Yeah, that's.
Down here, it's those places, that place up there on Main Street, several others around town. The one up on Burley Street beside Chris Rice's house, or 2 doors down from it.
Your brother's son?
So,
Oh, no. What's his face?
well, he passed away, so that one will be going.
Yeah, but
To the
this-
wayside.
Somebody lives there.
Big duplex on McKeever Street caught fire
Yep.
9 years ago.
Yep, still there.
It's got a door. It's got a door nailed to the wall to keep people out of it.
Yep. We got pictures of it. But we have to do something to, to make the town look better. You can't attract people coming in when you got places like that. Looks like crap. We'll just continue to the decline in population, and one day there'll be nobody left to pay the taxes. We'll be down to like Shawnee, New Straitsville, and Corning, and Renville,
Well, maybe we'll all be dead by
Moxie
then.
Hill. I know I will be.
Let's move.
Ready?
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? We're adjourned.